10 commonly overlooked tools for managing your transactions. David and I worked on this prior to the webinar, compiling a list of some default and some add-on features that can help you manage your transactions a bit more smoothly. If it's okay with you, David, may I pass it along and you can take it away with these 10 features here.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we figured we'd go over the 10 commonly overlooked tools for managing transactions. With Brilliant Directories, we try to include as many features as possible to make it as easy as possible to manage your subscriptions, your members, and your transactions. So by default, Brilliant Directories, it includes some transaction management tools regarding automated recurring payments, subscription management and refunds, past due payment handling, one-click member upgrades, and so much more. But with so many features, we do know that it's easy to overlook some important tools, especially if you may have not been made aware of them previously. So that's what we wanted to do with this presentation, is really highlight 10 transaction tools that we really think would be useful, whether on a one-time basis or to revisit somewhat often. So we'll go over some of these 10 tools here, and hopefully they'll really help you out.
All right, so the first batch of 5 that we came up with, we'll cover these from top to bottom. We have mentioned these in previous webinars, but again, this is a good refresher, especially with a lot of the new names and faces out there. So the first one is your ability to sort your members by who has generated the most revenue for your website. Let me quickly show you where you can find that one. All right, so for this one, what we want to do is go to your search members page. What you can do is a few things. One, before I get into the sorting by the members who have generated the most revenue for you, is you can always search by transaction type. So you can search members who have made any type of payment on your site, currently have past due payments on your site, that you've ever refunded, and so on. So this is a great filter here to search members based on transactions they've had on your site. But the one here that we're showcasing is the sort option on the right side here. You can sort by newest members. That's what it is by default. But you can also sort by most revenue and least revenue. Let me click on that. Just depending on how much data your website has, this can just take a moment. So we can see here, we're sorting now by members on this sample site where we've imported data. So this member has generated 2,300, and it gets lower and lower. But this is a great way to identify potentially your most high value members of your site, and maybe even survey them, see what they like most about your site that makes them want to continue paying, or see if there's any way you can assist them further. So sorting by most revenue and least revenue is possible here on the right-hand side. The next one can be done on the same page as well. You can assign a member to any membership plan on your site without collecting a payment from them if it is a paid plan. A common question we see in the Facebook group is, how can I make a member a premium member without adding a credit card on file for them or taking a payment from them? Well, you as the website owner, you have the ability to manually edit any of the members' membership plans assignment on your site without taking any payments from them. You can just flip a switch and they'll be in that new membership plan. Let me show you how that works. So what you can do is under the actions area, you can click on quick edit. And here you can do a lot of things. You can change their account status from active if they are to canceled, past due, on hold. If you're canceling someone or putting them on hold, the further step you can do is totally delete their account. That's a separate action. Most of the time, it's nice to keep people as canceled just so you have a record of the fact that they were part of your site in the first place. But here on the next line, you can manually move people up and down your available membership plans. You can just set them to whatever membership plan you want, and it will be as if they signed up for that membership plan from one of the sign up pages. So here is a great place to select somebody's membership plan. If you're choosing a paid plan for them, it will not bill them. This is just manually moving them to another membership plan. So manually change a membership plan in the quick edit area.
And if you wanted to do that for multiple members, could you do that via a bulk action?
Let's see. Under the bulk action, you can change their membership plan. So we can let's just select this, and update membership plan. And you can even select all the members in your, if they're more than the members on the current page, you could select all like that. And I believe what happens is if you click apply, you get a pop-up. It tells you how many records you've selected, and then you can choose the membership plan to move them to. That's a neat way to do that too. I forgot about that, David. Okay, the next thing is the ability to edit a member's active paid subscriptions. So potentially, let's say you have a member on a monthly plan and they're paying $25 per month. There was an issue with them on your site and you want to keep the subscription, but maybe you want to change their next bill date to, you're giving them 2 months free. So you don't want to bill them for 2 months effectively, or you want to change the price and give them a slightly reduced rate to $20 a month. You do have the ability to edit the subscriptions without having to stop them and restarting brand new subscriptions. Let me show you where you can do that. In this case, let's go to the Finance tab and look at the transaction history. Let's look for someone who has an open subscription here. And we can see this person does have an open subscription because we have the option to end the recurring subscription. So what we can do is go to this person's payment history. So now we're on their account here. We can see who they are. And what we can do is go to the subscriptions tab. This will let us know all the active subscriptions they have. Generally, a member will have one subscription. If you're doing other things on your site, you might find ways to get them into other subscriptions. But what you can do is you can see their active subscriptions. It'll let you know when it was activated, when the next bill date is going to be, and the current price and cycle that they're on. So this person is on $279 per year annually. So let's say we wanted to edit this. You can go to the actions drop down here, and there's two options: edit subscription or end subscription. End subscription would stop recurring payments. Let's click on edit subscription. So you can change a few things here. You can change the billing cycle: monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, yearly. You can bill them one more time. So let's say we wanted to change this person. We talked to them on the phone. They want to change things up. They want to switch to monthly, and we want to give them a special price of $20 per month. And what's cool here is you can set the next payment due date. So if we click on this, we can maybe we want to, they were on an annual, so maybe we want to come back here and they're going to go on monthly, and it's July right now. Maybe we don't want them to pay anything until January 1st, 2022. So they'll effectively get the rest of the year free. Now you can add internal notes here for yourself as well. Maybe the reason this subscription was edited, so you and your staff have a historical record of what was done here and why it was edited. So that should help you guys out. And then, of course, you can click continue and save changes. And then this person will not be billed until January 1st, 2022 in the amount of $20 on a monthly basis. So really cool there, knowing that you can do that. Number 4 on the list, manually start a new subscription for a member. So let's say you're on the phone with someone, they're on a free plan, they wanted to upgrade to a paid plan. So you use the quick edit to change their plan, but now you need to actually bill them and start the subscription. You can do that here also when you're looking at a member's account. What you want to do is go to the transactions tab. And what you can do once you're here is click on new order. If you need to update their credit card info, maybe again, you're doing this on the phone, you can certainly do that as well with this pop-up, and you can update the credit card info. In this case, we're going to create a new order. So first thing you can do here, we're going to start a subscription for this person. We can choose the plan that we want them to be. There we go, expert witness. Now, the billing cycle, what we've set in our membership plan is there's a monthly and annual option for this. So it's generally $449 per year. I can do a price override here. Maybe I want to charge them just $100 per year. And in addition to this, you can choose the date when billing will start. So if you just leave it as it is, it will bill them today. The day that it is, or you can change this to be a date in the future. We'll continue with the January 1st option. So you can have a future start date. So again, You can let someone know that you've created a subscription for them. You're giving them 5 months free before the billing begins. And again, you can add some notes here as an admin on why this price is discounted or why the start date is January 1st, so you and your staff have a record of what's happened. So in this case, if I clicked on Create Order, the subscription will be created. Billing will begin January 1st at a rate of $100 annually per year. So that is a great way to know how to create a new order for your members manually. Okay, that was number 4. And actually that covers number 5 as well, the start billing on option. It's good to know that you can bill people in the future. You don't have to just start the subscription and bill them today. You can delay billing to start in the future. So that was number 5, is the start billing on option. All right, one of my favorites, number 6 here, the income reports. I think this is commonly overlooked, but we could take a look at where those are and what information they provide. This is going to be in your transaction history page under the Finance tab. And what you can do is, in the income reports section, you have 3 options here: recurring income estimator, monthly income report, and daily income report. The recurring income estimator, I like this the most. It tells you month by month how much in expected monthly recurring revenue you stand to generate for your website. Now, if you're in the middle of a month, such as July here, it's going to tell you the remainder of how much is left to collect for that month. But when we look at future months, in this example, August, we can see in this example site, they stand to generate $905 based on existing active subscriptions that are recurring. They are going to collect $728 in annual renewals and $177 in monthly renewals. This is an aggregate of all the annual renewals for that month, monthly, quarterly, etc. So it's really cool to see. This is an estimate, of course, based on active subscriptions, but it's good to gauge how much revenue the website is generating month over month in the future. The next one is the monthly income report, and this shows you the last 3 years available. So this would be 2021, 2020, and 2019 in this example. You can actually compare how much revenue you've generated month after month and comparing the prior years. So in this example, we can see in April of 2019, this site generated substantially more than they have in April of 2021. So it's a really good snapshot to see how you're doing based on prior years. Obviously, we want to see the most current year trending upwards ahead of the prior years. But nevertheless, this is a great way to kind of just get a snapshot of how the website's revenue health is doing, comparing the different years month over month. So you have that as well. And again, if you just started your site, you'll see you won't have any past history, but as your site ages, you will have additional data to compare and see. And then lastly, actually at the top here, daily income report. This shows you how much revenue your site has generated on the per month basis. So right now we're looking at July of 2021 in this example. So we can see on the 3rd, July 3rd, there was a payment of $19.95 collected. We can see on July 8th, there was a payment of $279 collected, and so on. If you scroll down, you can see all the days mapped out and how much revenue is generated. We haven't quite hit July 31st yet, but it shows the full month, and once there's data available for the upcoming days, this will fill in itself. And what's cool here is you can actually go back in time, so you can go to June 2021, and you can just keep going backwards in time to see the daily revenue per month that your website generated here. So really cool are those income reports. Okay, another one of my favorites is the attempt to collect past due payment button. So there are cases where your members, they're on active subscriptions and their credit card wasn't able to be billed on the day that the subscription was due. It could be many factors that a card couldn't collect on a specific day. Maybe there was fraud on their card and there was a temporary hold. Maybe they passed their daily limit. There are a number of reasons a valid credit card may or may not be able to be billed on the day that your subscription is attempting to bill them. Nevertheless, you do have a button here in your transaction history tab. Let's go there together, transaction history, and you can go to the past due tab here. And what you could do is you could select all the past due transactions that you'd like. You can load more if you want. You can go all the way to 503 and select them all. And you have this blue button here, attempt to collect all selected invoices. Now, just depending on how many you've selected, it could take a minute or two to process through all of them. But what the system is going to attempt to do is to collect the amount that's due from the member. So it'll cycle through all of them. You may have some success on some of those collections. You may not have success on some of those collections as well. What's really good is if you're not able to collect, of course, you can send an email notification to the member. You can choose to call the member. You can get more proactive. You can just go ahead and set their account to canceled and end the subscription just to cancel them from your website. But the attempt to collect the past due payments is a really nifty button here, and you'll be surprised, even though someone's credit card didn't work potentially on the day that the subscription was due. Again, it could be a number of reasons beyond that their card isn't valid, but that should help you reconcile some of the payments that are due to your website, just with a click of a button. Number 8 here, marking invoices as paid or unpaid manually. Let's backtrack a bit and let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's let's use past due invoices as an example. Let's say, this person, I talked to them on the phone, they're past due $279. Maybe they mailed in a check. They said, here's a check for the past due amount and my credit card should work moving forward. So what you can do is under the actions area, you can manually mark this as paid, and the system will consider this invoice no longer a past due invoice, but revenue generated for the website. And what's even cooler is for each invoice, you can add notes. So you can say, sent a check for whatever the amount is. Again, you can add notes for each individual transaction here. And you can note why this was marked as paid manually. The same thing for unpaid. Maybe somebody filed a chargeback, and the chargeback wasn't reflected in the transaction history here. You can go ahead and mark it as unpaid, and you can put a note as an example saying, member filed a chargeback and we lost the funds, something like that. So again, you can manually update your invoices yourself, marking them as paid or unpaid. And actually for our users in countries where, unfortunately, maybe there isn't one of our 10 default payment gateways working for you, or you're collecting payments off-site, that because that's your business model, you do in-person cash or check payments, or direct bank account, checking account transfers. This is a great way. You can still set up subscriptions for your members. The invoices will be created every month, and you can manually mark things as paid or unpaid as you receive funds off-site, in person or through another method. So that does require an extra step to capture payments in person or through other methods, but you can come here and mark the invoices as paid or unpaid. Okay, the next one, number 9, billing reminder emails add-on. This one is really cool. So what we can do is, and we'll go to payment settings. So under your finance tab in payment settings, if you have this add-on, and we'll go to billing email settings, and we've covered this in previous webinars, but you can choose to send emails to your members when certain events happen. When new payments are received in that moment, you can choose to email your members a copy of their invoice. This is different than the welcome email during their sign up. So if they have recurring payments and you want to notify them every time your website has successfully billed them, you can choose to enable new payments received emails to your members. And also you, the admin, can choose to get that in your daily digest as well. if an upcoming payment is happening for your members and the system generates upcoming invoices 14 days before the due date. So if an invoice is due on January 14th, then it creates the upcoming payment reminder on January 1st. And you can have that sent to the members. You can actually choose here up to 14 days when you want that upcoming payment reminder to be sent to members. So you can say, hey, just to let you know, in 4 days, our website is going to bill you for your subscription. And there are default templates that you can edit. I'll show you those in just a moment. And I think the most valuable ones here are the past due reminders. You can send up to 3 past due reminders to your members. So maybe their payment is due on the 1st. You can choose to email them the next day, one day after the due date. And if the invoice is still past due, maybe you want to enable a second reminder. Maybe that goes 3 days later after the due date. And then lastly, you can send one maybe 5 days after the due date. And maybe you can let them know that if at that point their account will be canceled if the payment is not completed. So you can choose, how you want your follow-ups to be with the past due reminder emails, but those are super helpful to have in your toolkit for contacting members. And just to show you here, if you click on Edit Template, you can edit the template that is sent to the members. Let's see if we can preview this one. So this one, and you can edit these to your heart's desire. Renewal notice, it's going to be hi first name. We apologize for this inconvenience, but we were unable to process a scheduled payment, and it's going to put the value there. Please log into your account to pay the due invoice here. And the subscription and details would be here as well, just so they have some reference as to what this is for. And these are the types of templates that you can edit. So the billing reminder emails add-on, if you don't have that, if you are collecting payments from your members, it can be really helpful, if anything, just to send the past due reminders to your members so you can capture the membership dues that are owed to you. Now, if you're not going to use the billing reminder emails add-on, there is another method. You can create a smart list of your members, a dynamic list of members who currently have past due and outstanding balances. So what you can do in this case is you can go to your search members page. And as I mentioned before, you can search your transaction types and search for past due. And this is just going to look for members who currently have outstanding past due balances. So we found all these members here as a sample member. Here in the sidebar, it's really cool. We can see how much they're past due. But what we can do is we can go to list actions and we can create a smart list. And we can call this list past due members. And what's cool about this list is, let's say a member pays their past due amount. They're going to be automatically removed from this list because they no longer meet the dynamic criteria necessary to be part of this list. So the criteria is that they have an outstanding past due invoice. And what's cool about this is you can create the smart list, and now you have it. Let's go to our smart lists. Okay, we can see we have 47 members on the website who are past due. And what we can do is we can send a newsletter to those members, maybe something more generic. It looks like you're past due on our website. We don't want to cancel your membership. Please log in and update your credit card on file. Call us if you need assistance to do this. Again, you can be more proactive in contacting members who are past due on your website. So that's just another way to create a list and to email members who are past due on your website.